Right then guys, it's time for another modding video. Now if you look on eBay, there are various sellers that are they're actually selling these units pre-modded, and they range in price from about £60 up to £75–80 depending on who the seller is, and actually depending on what they've done as regards to the mod. Some of them only replace the screen, some of them will replace the casing and the buttons and the actual screen front on it as well, and so forth. So it depends on who you go to and what type of mod they do. Depends on the price. Now, I'd actually looked online just to buy a screen, and there was a UK seller that was selling just the screens for £40 delivered, which I thought was a bit steep, to be honest. So I delved further into eBay and found a Chinese seller that was selling a complete kit. So it was a new screen, it was a new case, it was a new screen protector, it was new buttons, a new speaker, all sorts of stuff. I mean, it was a full conversion kit, and from China delivered £26.95. Absolute unbelievable value for money there. You know, certainly compared it to the reseller that was doing just the screens in the UK for £40. I thought, I'll take a punt. If it doesn't turn up or it's a piece of shit, I've only wasted like 27 quid, so I'm not going to cry about it. Now, the reseller on eBay, and I will put a link in the description of this video, has been absolutely fantastic. Great communications. It was sent out, it was delivered from China to the UK. It came in about 10 days, I think. And what you get in the kit is absolutely unbelievable for the money. I mean, some of the prices that stuff goes for in China is absolutely crazy. It really is. But it is a full kit. So I have got a brand new case with a spare screen. Actually comes with a screen on it, but he puts another screen in there as well. It comes with a screwdriver, it comes with new buttons, it comes with all the other stuff that you need. So that's one part of the pack, and it was really well packaged as well, really well packaged. And the other part for the screen mod is that you get some, you get some double-sided tape, which is used to put the new screen in, and you get the screen itself. Now there's two types of screens that you can get for these Game Boy Advances. There is a 40 pin and a 38 pin, I think, and it depends on the serial number prefix on the motherboard, and you can actually see that really easily because you can view the serial number by taking the battery off, and I'm not sure if it's going to zoom in. It probably won't. Oh, you just see it there. Right, this serial number starts with a 0, which means it's a 40 pin. If it starts with I think it's a 1, but it's anything other than a 0, it's the 38 pin. So this one's a 40 pin one. So you just want to be careful that if you do order a new screen, that you order the right screen for your version of Game Boy. So I've ordered the 40 pin one, and this is the screen here. I'm going to be careful with this, make sure I don't get anything on the screen itself, but that's the screen there. Now these are actually sold as AGS 101 screens, and they're not. It is false advertising, and everybody on eBay calls it an AGS 101 screen. But if you look at people that have modded these Game Boy Advances with this type of screen against an AGS 101, it's not quite as good as the AGS 101. And I'll show you in a comparison at the end of the video the differences, but these are not AGS 101 screens. But they are a hell of a lot better than the SP screen, and so much better than the original Game Boy Advance screen. So what I thought I would do would be to actually go through the modding process that I do for this screen, show you how I do that, and then show you comparisons at the end. Right, so here we have the full kit laid out, and like I said, you get a hell of a lot for 27 quid. So you've got your replacement casing. Now these cases, whilst they're they're obviously aftermarket cases. There is a slight mod that needs to be done to the case on the inside of it to accept the new screen. These come pre-modded. The original casing has got some sort of extra plastic bits around it that houses the standard screen or the original screen. Those have to be dremeled or cut off, and as part of this kit they're actually cut off for you already, so you haven't even got to worry about that. So that's the replacement casing. And like I said, you've got the double-sided tape that will basically go round here, and I suspect it will go on the other side as well to put the screen up into the casing itself. You have the screen, obviously, the replacement screen. You have a plastic screen protector that will go on top of your actual plastic screen protector. So you've got two screen protectors, but you know what I mean. These are these aftermarket ones you can buy to put over the top of the original, and they're sort of flexible, I don't know, sort of polycarbonate type of plastic. But it comes with one of those. It comes with a replacement speaker. Not sure why you'd want to replace the speaker. Are these louder? I suspect they are, so I'm going to replace that anyway. You have two different types of plastic screen protectors. You have one with a normal Game Boy Advance logo on it, and one that's sort of one of these weird ones that changes colour in the light. It sort of goes different colours. It's silver, but it goes different colours, so it's up to you which one you choose. I'll choose the standard one, but again, the kit comes with two of these, amazingly enough. And you have two sets of the replacement buttons. Now I've heard that the buttons for the replacement buttons aren't as good as the standard buttons. Now I can't understand why, if I'm being perfectly honest. So what I might do is I might keep the original buttons, but I can't understand why they would be any different feel to the original ones. But I'll have a look at those when I strip it all down. You have another serial number sticker. I mean, these guys have thought of everything. That goes on the back of the case, so that will go in there if you wish to put that on there. And you get the screwdriver as well, all for £26.95 delivered, or whatever it was. It was £26, so it depends on the exchange rate, obviously, at the time. So you get a hell of a lot. So I'm going to start stripping down the Game Boy Advance and start fitting stuff, and we'll see how we get on. Now, something I haven't mentioned about these mod kits is that you can alter the brightness of the actual screen itself, and there's two ways of doing that. One is to increase the power to the screen via a fairly straightforward bridge, and there's a bridge that goes off a transistor down here, and you probably can't see it really clearly on the video, but there's enough information on the internet to actually know which specific point to take it off, and to be fair, you should get instructions with your kits anyway if you buy a kit, and I've actually just got the instructions through. The guys just emailed them to me, and you can see it really clearly on the screen actually, as regards to where you solder from. But basically you solder off a transistor, off one of the legs on the transistor. Now, because it's really small circuitry, it's best used in Kynar wire, which is what I've got here. It's real thin wire, which is coated, and it's easy to get the coating off. You just use a soldering iron on the end and you can pull the coating off, but it is really thin but pliable. What you can see it there, it's like a sort of hair's hair's diameter really. And I've taken it off the transistor and I've just put it on the other point, which is on the ribbon cable. If I just move it down slightly, there's a solder point or a point on the ribbon cable just here. You can just see that pad there by the screwdriver. You're not really going to see on the video actually. It's just lighting that down a bit. You can't really see it, but you should be able to see the difference. I mean, it looks really dim on there, doesn't it? But it's not that dim. If I touch the pad, it will brighten it up. So you can see that flashing. And that's just to show you the differences, but obviously it doesn't flash if you keep it on. So I finished off the Game Boy Advance with the new screen and got all the case back together and everything. And I thought I'd show you a comparison between the new screen now on the Game Boy Advance I've just fitted and the original Euro Game Boy Advance SP screen. Now you should be able to tell pretty instantly just looking at the two screens side by side which is the new screen in the Game Boy Advance. It's that one, surprise surprise, and it's bloody good, I must admit. I'm pretty impressed with that. It's a lovely clear screen, so much more vibrant colours. It doesn't look washed out like the SP screen. I've moved to the SP screen there, and it's quite pale. It's washed out, and it just doesn't look anywhere near as good as that one. So for a kit that costs £27 to get those kinds of results, it's a pretty good bargain to me. So again, that's the standard Game Boy Advance SP, and this is a modded Game Boy Advance original with the new type of screen fitted, and it looks far superior. Hope you enjoyed the video guys, and I'll speak to you again soon.